Ooh, no, that's a heavy light. Hey guys, hey everyone. Happy New Year's. Welcome to my New Year's live stream. Woo! I'm just gonna take a couple minutes to wait and get everybody in here and make sure that it's working, because I think last time that I started the live stream, it cut the beginning off a little bit, or I didn't know where it started or what the lag was. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody's here, we get our stuff going, and we're all happy. It's so cold. What am I going to draw today? I have already drawn my thing, and I'm going to be painting a Jessie McCree for you and showing you how I do watercolors with colored pencils. So I hope you really enjoy it. I wanted to make something like a video for that, and I might still do it for those who missed the live stream. But yeah. Oh, happy New Year's, you guys. All the way from wherever you are, happy New Year's. I know some of you have already hit it. Tell us how the future is. I am going to get this link and tweet out so we can get more friends with us and let everybody know that we are streaming right now. So let's make sure we can get that going. And then I was here from last year, 8 hours to go. Okay, cool. So Twitter already knows. That's awesome. And then let's, golly, I don't even know how to even post that on Instapoop. I guess I could take a really quick video and show everybody on Instapoop that we are streaming. And that's going to be creepy, but whatever. Hi guys, happy New Year's from England. Happy New Year's from her. Just want to see it. Okay, anyways, so as you guys know, there's a lot of you in here, and I'm going to be drawing, so it's going to take quite a while for me to keep up with the chat. So I have my wonderful friend Squid here, who's going to moderate the chat, and she's going to help me. Can you hug me? Yes. Hugs for everybody. Because when I'm painting, I'm obviously not going to be able to keep track of how fast the chat moves and your questions. And so she will be relaying like your questions and the ones that haven't been repeated before to make sure that to me and make sure that I can answer everything. But yes, today I'm going to be painting McCree for you, and I am not going to worry about posting that to Instagram because I don't even want to mess with that right now. But yes, let me change the cameras right now to la 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 la. And last time that we did this, ooh, wow, that was really dark. Last time we did this, it took a while for the picture. No! It took a while for the picture to change. I'm so sorry if I just made everyone sick. But yeah, last time it took quite a bit for the picture to change. You're watching The Walking Dead while watching this? Ooh! All right, so here we have our boy, McCree. The webcam for me is showing me everything in reverse. So I don't know if that's how it's coming out for you, but obviously the real picture is flipped, but that could just be a thing of that. So I am going to be coloring him for everybody with the watercolors. I have all my stuff set up. My sister got me this really sweet cup that says paint water, and on the other side it says not paint water. But yeah, if we finish if we finish him and we still have the umph, then I think that we will do something else. What would I say is my biggest inspiration? Let's see. My biggest inspiration would probably be songs and comic books and TV shows and those sort of things. Like anything, you know, any of my interests or like anything that I liked in my childhood. I'm pretty much like an adult child, so I really like games and I really like, you know, a lot of things most 26-year-olds probably wouldn't, but whatever. I hope me and Ari are doing great. Oh, thank you. We are. We're doing awesome. Ari is visiting her family, so. Let's see. Now, good thing that McCree has a fairly standard. Wow, that bulge. Oh my God. Stop it. It's so hard to draw pants and like not do anything about it. Oh my goodness. Now I'm never going to draw a man again. Never going to draw a full body man again. Jeez. I've seen Jacqueline DeLeon's the covers for her comics. I haven't purchased one myself. Obviously, I did support her when she was having like a bit of a rough patch, and I have two prints from her actually. But I like to go back and forth with I like to support as many artists as I can, and so I don't like to try and buy too much from one person because obviously there's new and great artists coming out every day. And excuse me, I'm just mixing my paint over here really quick. But there's new stuff coming out all the way, all the time. So I really wanted her comic, but at the same time, I don't think at the time when she was doing her reprints and selling it, I don't think I had the funds for it. So that is, but I do enjoy like that she did that while she was in college and she accomplished all of that. Like I'm incredibly jealous and like, oh, just like I'm so happy for her that she was able to do that. Where's my washcloth? Did my dog take my washcloth? Ah! I normally dab away my excess water on a washcloth, which I have here. Oh, it's over here on the counter. Oh, sorry guys, I'm a complete goober. But anyways, let's see. Okay. But I love Jacqueline's style, and she seems like she's a really chill, cool person and artist. And oh my gosh, if I saw she was killing it this Inktober. Like every day I was getting on and looking at her Inktober, I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh. But yeah, her style's amazing. Yeah, you're drawing while watching me. If anybody is drawing while watching, I would love to see what it is that you are drawing, and I would like to, everybody should go and check it out in tags and like, you know, be together, form a community and support each other as we do it. But let's say what do we want to name the tag that for posting everything that everyone's working on while they're hanging out in the stream and we're all doing this together? Let's see, how long did it take you to florist McCree? What do you mean florist? Is that a typo? I'm not sure what you mean. Would I ever consider doing more digital art? Yeah, I actually started out doing mostly digital stuff. when I was younger, probably when I was 16 or 15 years old, I got my Wacom tablet, and then I would spend all of my free time making my sketches and then scanning them in and then editing them and painting them quite awfully in Photoshop Elements. So yeah, that was not cool. Let's see. Hashtag bulge whips 27. Get out of here, you guys. I cannot with you. Okay. We're gonna I love you guys so much. I cannot. Let's do the hashtag. Oh God, I can't even. Squid, tell me what you think should be an appropriate hashtag. How long did it take you to draw him? Autocorrect. He took me a while. He actually took me, especially because I was drawing him for a couple days, because I work full-time. I'm a visual designer for a marketing company. So all of my illustration stuff that I do is my free time at night when I come home from work, and I don't have a whole lot of that. So what I end up having to do is I'll maybe I sketched him out really quick, like just his body stuff. If you pay attention on my Facebook, or not my Facebook, my Snapchat or my Instagram stories, I'll post whips, and you probably could have seen that I was posting like my progress on him. I've been working on him for a long time, actually. Uh-oh. What the hell is this? Looks like some of this ink is picking up with my watercolor, which shouldn't be happening because this brush pen ink works fine with Copic markers. But oh well, I guess it'll do with the grungy look, the old vintage look. I'll just use a little less water. But he took me a while. He probably took me, with the time that I had, because I couldn't just sit down and draw him all at once, it probably took me Gweakles bulge, stop it! It probably took me like 2 days, but I spent one night and I just fully drew him out, and then because I spent so much time and so much energy on like the details and stuff, that I was like, oh man, now I gotta ink, and I gotta ink and color this. Oh man, so I inked this last night at like the witching hour while I was playing Overwatch with my friend Jen. But to answer your question earlier, I'm so sorry for whoever asked if I would consider drawing digital. I've thought about it, and I've thought about ordering, like, I really want to get like a Cintiq that I draw right on, because I feel like that would make things go faster. But a couple of artists said that they didn't notice a difference, or they didn't think that it necessarily went faster at all. So I don't know. Like, I really, really like traditional. Digital, I used to do all the time. It's all I used to do, but I feel like I have less control. Like, whereas I'm drawing right here, but then the picture's over here, whereas I'm drawing right here and the picture's right here, which is why I think that the Cintiq would work out for everybody. All right, guys, we'll do the hashtag for whatever you're drawing is going to be hashtag it's high noon. No bulge, just hashtag it's high noon. What watercolors do I use? Right now, these are an assortment of Utrecht watercolors, and then they're also an assortment of Winsor and Newton Cotman, because those ones are only $3 to $5 a tube, and they'll probably last you for years and years and years. But yes. Yes. I'm not a party pooper. I am not a party pooper. There's a lot of children who watch my channel, and I cannot, they visited me at the con, and I cannot have their parents coming up to me and will be like, excuse me, Miss Gweakles, why are you having my child watch this live stream with the hashtag it's high noon bulge? I can't be doing that. I have to think about the kids, everyone. I have to think about the children. Okay. All right, let's see what I can do now. I'm trying to work my way. Obviously, I work light to dark on watercolors. I said noon. Why are you doing this? It's hashtag it's high noon. Not high noon. You guys are nuts. You do whatever you want. But I'm going to be looking in the hashtag it's high noon. Oh my God. Please do not think about the children as you draw a bulge. I cannot with you anymore. Okay. I'm going to go back to watercoloring this guy. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. Let's see. I think if I use less water and more, again, I got my tester sheet so I can test out what the red is going to look like. That is too red. Darken that up. I love you guys too. You're awesome. What's my favorite part of Overwatch character design? My favorite part of the Overwatch character design is that they did as far as games. I've been out of like the game scene for a while, obviously with work, but now that I finally have a PlayStation 4, I always delve right back into it. But my favorite, I have to say my favorite part, just testing, my favorite part of the Overwatch character designs is that out of any games I've seen, they've made the most attempt in making it multicultural, multi-race diverse, giving everybody like different abilities, giving them different personalities. Like, of course, we have our stereotypical stuff for fun. Like, obviously, McCree is like a cowboy. I'm like, what is a cowboy doing in this Asian time where everybody is like part cyborg and part robot, and he looks like he just rolled up out of a John Wayne movie? Like, come on, McCree. But I like that part, and then I also like, I know some people were having a dispute and they're upset about the models. Basically, like all the guy models are the same except for Genji, who he's got no calves. I'm pretty sure, like when I first saw him, I was like, does he have robot legs? But apparently they're legs, and those are his actual legs, and I thought they were little robot twigs. But all the dudes, maybe save for Junkrat and obviously Roadhog too. So like McCree, Soldier 76, and Reaper, they all have like the same male character models. And then like Widowmaker and Symmetra and oh golly, and not Diva, Farah, if she didn't have her armor on, like they all have really long legs, they have the same butt, they have the, they have that aesthetic. Diva's like a little girl, but they give her boobs, those like anime sock boobs, like, the typical stereotypical part. I get it. Some people were mad because they're like, oh, there's not enough variation in the bodies, and it's like, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. They have May, and they have Don't Kill Me, but I don't know what the pink girl's hair's name is because I cannot play her for the life of me, and she frustrates me. But obviously they have varying body types, so I understand like where they would get mad and be like the models, some of the models for the dudes and all the other stuff are the same for the guys. You can tell like they just, the legs are all the same and whatnot. But on one hand, we can argue that that is a styling choice. Because I mean, if you think about it, all of the Disney princesses have no waist and they have, you know, big wide eyes and long hair. I mean, except for Snow White, they have long hair. You know what I mean? It's, we could say the same thing, but I like the aesthetic that they went like different and futuristic, and they changed things up for most of the characters, and like they have the stereotype there, but they're making it fun. So let's see, another question. What kind of brushes do I use? I just, most of the time I use like stuff that you can tell like these might have come out of a pack, or these are actually from, these ones are from Michaels, but you get these, this is like Royal, yeah, these are the Royal soft grips, but these are like the little $2-3 ones at Michaels. I use round synthetic brushes. I don't use real hair. So this is not real horse hair or animal hair. This is fake. So they're synthetic, but I use rounded tip brushes. This is a nice one that I bought for myself. And then I just recently got these two Utrecht brands ones because, you know, after a while, obviously, because the hair is not real, these, you see that how they start to spread and they start to fade. So even though I use like, this is a 4, this is still a 4. Like this is obviously more pointy than the other one, but I use anything between round size 2, 4, 6, and then I got myself a 7 just to see, and then like an 8 because I don't paint very big. Do I have any tips for getting yourself out there or selling pieces? My tips are to always just keep posting your art, because, you know, nothing happens overnight. Like absolutely nothing happens overnight. I know we all want to be immediately success. We want our instant gratification. I've seen things where it's like, hey, they didn't really put a whole lot of work into that. Why are they so popular? Why are they so famous? And I think I did a good job. And, you know, like, you know, that stuff. You can't worry about anyone else. Really, you have to worry about yourself, and you have to remember why you're doing your art. And if you're doing your art, are you doing your art for you? Are you doing your art because that's what, you know, you want attention for it, or do you want to please everybody with your art? I mean, you have to really sit down and think about that. And then if it's something you really want to do, then you're going to keep doing it until it's going to get there, until you get to where you want to be, basically. I can't believe this crap is bleeding on me. This is the same exact ink. This is the same exact ink that goes into the pocket brush pen, and it doesn't bleed, and it didn't bleed with the Copics that I used. Huh. Whatever. But it is what it is. We've started it, and we're gonna work through it, and we're gonna make it happen. But yeah, as far as getting yourself out there, I would put myself on every media platform that was available, like Twitter, Instagram. I mean, it's like, it's a pain in the butt. You got to keep up with all of that. But the more places you are, the more people are going to see you. You never know who's looking. You never know who's watching. You never know who's going to be where. I would go to local craft shows. Maybe even if you don't have a table or you don't have a con, it would be good to go there and see how it is. Like, see what everyone else is selling. Check out the competition. See what's doing well. See how they set up their booth. It's all about like putting in the time in like doing your research. You have to do the time and you have to do the research yourself. I would say keep going, don't give up, and nothing happens overnight. As far as selling prints, like that's all like, it's, I don't know how to answer this properly because this may come as a surprise to you because you guys are so adorable and I don't know why we think art is so good, but like I don't sell a whole lot of prints. I still have a whole lot of my con prints left over, and I'm going to do mystery bags soon so I can get rid of them. And like selling prints is like really hard because people will say that they like it and that they want to buy it, and then you make it and then you put it up for sale and then they don't. And the stuff that people may like online may be completely different than what the people at a convention are gonna like. So it's really trial and error. I mean, you're gonna have to, there's gonna be times where you like me, like I ended up with a bunch of copies. I have a bunch of, not copies, I have lots of leftovers from con. And I've made stuff and not sold it. Plenty of stuff in the past. I have so much stuff that I need to get rid of that I haven't sold. So you just can't, you have to keep doing it or you're not going to figure out what works, if that makes sense to you. Let's see. But as far as selling pieces, I would say make sure, you know, because I know it's difficult to price yourself, but definitely don't ever undersell yourself just for the months, because then you're going to screw everybody else in the industry out. And then don't undersell yourself just because you're desperate to have your print. Don't ever let anyone guilt you into it. I would say go by the time and then the effort it puts you into. Maybe even go by minimum wage. Be like, okay, if I was working a job and I was making this much money an hour minimum wage, would this be worth it? Would this be worth it if I spent 3 hours on this McCree drawing and I used my ink, my watercolors, my this, my that, my talents, my time that I've taken to learn how to draw this? I mean, you have to put that into account too. It's not just the piece. It's you took the time and you put in the effort to learn how to get where you are today. So, yeah, you have to take a lot of stuff. It's a lot. I know, like nobody thinks that art is rocket science, but it really, sometimes it really is. Hi, I have a question and anyone is welcome to answer. What is your opinion on using reference? Because I find myself using reference a lot and some people tell me they shouldn't. Who the hell is telling you not to use a reference? That's absolutely absurd. When you go to art school, you learn the foundations and the whole like stereotype of us having like naked models in class. That's real. I had so many classes where we're drawing the figure. How are you going to learn how to draw a body or what's in proportion if you don't look at an actual body? You know what I mean? I use reference for this hand and for this hand by taking pictures of my hand. I mean, and when I feel like my, when I feel like I'm not doing good in the anatomy section, I go back and I do some figure sketches and some figure drawings. Anybody who has amazing art skills at anatomy and like proportions, it's because they've drawn it over and over again. Like, okay, so let's say for unicorns, I've drawn 1 million unicorns and I drew them by looking at references of horses. So once I know the anatomy of where a horse, like how their bodies work and what their body looks like, then you can stylize it and make it your own as long as it's consistent. So there is absolutely no shame in using a reference. It's how you're going to learn. If you mean by copying someone else's artwork, I would, like, everybody does that when they're younger. Like, I used to try and draw, like, my favorite Dragon Ball Z character off of, you know, another drawing, and obviously that's what it looked like. Or if you're trying to draw the Pikachu and make that match, that's fine. That's basically you using a reference and learning, so long as you don't take credit for it. And I would not copy other people's artwork ever. I would maybe do like, if you get excited about their idea, maybe do your own take on it, and always make sure you credit them. But there's no shame in using a reference. Everyone uses all major artists are using a reference, I guarantee you. And if they're not using a reference, it's because they've been drawing whatever subject they've been drawing for so long that they don't even need to look at it anymore. But any well-practiced artist is continuously practicing figure drawing or whatever it is they need to do, so that, I mean, what makes it good is you drawing not what you think you see, but what you see, and make it what it exists. And like, your style comes from what you decide to include, or your perception of what you're seeing looks like. So I use a reference, and my Ari uses a reference, and I mean, like, sometimes, you know, you don't, depends on what you're doing, you don't have to use a reference, but if you're practicing or you need it, like I needed a reference for these hands, I used it. So please, no shame in using a reference. I don't know why people are telling you not to, and I'm sorry to hear that. Are you going to post this on YouTube? I don't know. I thought it'd just go up, you know, whenever. We're doing this. Okay, so because I don't have an encoder for the live stream, I'm using the Hangouts, Google Hangouts, to just do that for me, so I don't have to. It's one less thing I have to worry about. And after we're done with the live stream, it'll process the whole thing, and then it'll be on later. So it will be on YouTube later, in case you can't watch the whole thing or you miss some of it. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit because it's getting a little moist and my throat is getting dry. So I'm going to sip some tea and listen to you answer some of your questions. What is the craziest thing that happened to me while I was at con? Some guy asked me for my number. He was really sweet. He kind of came to my table a couple of times. He was really sweet and complimented my artwork, and I could tell he was really young too. And I know people mistake my age. A lot of people think like I'm like 16 or I'm like 19 years old, and that's okay. But he was really sweet, and he came over and talked to me a couple times, and I'm like, oh man, here we go. But he came over and he was like, hey, do you mind if, you know, I get your number and we can maybe get dinner sometime? I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not really interested in doing that right now. So I would say that was the most awkward thing that happened to me. A couple of other awkward things that happened were when people would squat in front of my table to like take care of their business. It's like you have a whole convention center and they would just squat right in front of my table. I'm like, why are you doing that? Excuse me, I'm trying to do some business here. It's very rude. Sorry, sweet tea. But I think that was crazy. I said, like, it's defining crazy. That, like, I think that is something on the weird side. But another one of the craziest things, but on a good side of the spectrum, is that I can't believe how many people came to see me. A little girl and her mother drove all the way from Orlando, and it was at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, just to see me. I was like, oh, cool. So do you guys come here often? And she's like, no, we're just here to see you. And I was like, you literally made that drive, bought tickets to this convention to just see me. And I wanted to cry because I don't think, like, I can't believe someone would do that. And like how happy all these kids would be, or anybody who came to my table or who knew who I was, and they were so sweet and so nervous, and like they had letters and like drawings for me and all wanted pictures with me, and they were just so sweet. And when I say that's crazy to me, I mean, in my reality, I'm just, you know, I'm just another person. I'm just another artist. And that was a really magical experience for me and just worth going to the con at all. And it was amazing. Do I watch Emily Artful? I've seen her channel and a couple of her videos, I think. But I don't know. I don't think I'm subscribed to her. I don't think I watch her regularly. I've been really out of, yeah, he's still Silky. I've been really out of the groove on that lately. So I haven't necessarily, maybe I can get in here and get his booth while this is doing that. I haven't really been able to keep up with YouTube these past couple weeks or months. Usually when I do, I'll just throw on Game Grumps in the background while I'm working on stuff. Because by the time it's the weekend, it's like I either just want to, end of the day or the weekend, I really just want to just plop down and sleep. Or just, you know, I have to make videos and I have to make constant art for online, because if you don't, then people will forget about you, and I have to keep improving so I can get better. So I haven't really, and that's bad. Like I try and keep track of other artists on like Instagram and Twitter and try and keep up with everything that's going on to the best of my ability. But as far as YouTube goes, I've been, let's get his tooties. I've been, as my grandma would say, his tooties. I've been a little behind on that. How do I keep myself from getting frustrated with my art while I'm making it? That's a good question. When you figure it out, you tell me. No, I'm just kidding. I get frustrated with my art all the time. There are some days where I'm just like zoom and I do it and I get it done. And then there are some days where I feel like I've been given someone else's hand and it doesn't know what to do with itself. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is this crap? What is this garbage that is coming out of you? And I, obviously with like my anxiety, I don't cope well with stuff like coming out of my control or not being where it needs to be, especially when something is really important to me. I found that when I'm trying to draw something really important to me and I want it to be really good, like my problem is I overthink my art all the time instead of just doing that. I'll end up just sitting there overthinking everything, like not actually doing it, instead of just being like, okay, gotta do it, just do it. Like the Nike symbol, just do it. So I guess the best thing that I could say for how do I keep myself from getting frustrated is keep myself moving and be like, okay, I drew for today and that's what's important. And then if, you still are drawing, because you do want to keep, the important thing is that you are drawing and you're learning, whether nothing you draw every day is going to be perfect, but what's important is that you learn. Jake Parker just put out a video that said finished, not perfect. So like after I finished drawing this McCree, I found all the mistakes that there was with him. And I was like, fudge nuggets. But I'm finishing him because it doesn't matter if he's perfect, because our ideas of what is perfect and what is oy vey. Let's get a better angle going on here. There we go. Our ideas of what's perfect now versus our ideas of what will be perfect in a year or so are going to change. So we're wasting time, basically, spending all that time worrying about what's going to be perfect and what's not going to be perfect. You know what I mean? So sometimes I have to walk. Wow, the colors look really different. But sometimes I have to walk away from it. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do. Like when you're tired or you're overworked, maybe you just need to walk away, or maybe you need to instead if you're like really concentrated on something and it's really important to you, go back to, and I say this a lot, go back to things that make you happy, like from your childhood, things that don't have to be perfect, but it's just making you happy because you're making it anyways, if that makes sense. Like for me, that's my go-to is Nightmare Before Christmas, and that always makes me pretty happy. So I mean, and if even that doesn't work, then that means it's time to step away. That means you need a break, and it's okay. There's no shame in needing a break. You're only a human. You're not a machine. You're not a robot. If we could pump out artwork and everything that we made was perfect, then there would be nothing special about it. I hope that answered your question. Have I ever used oil paints? Yeah. I went to art school. I have a bachelor's in illustration, and that's really all they made us paint with. And oil paints are really hard. They're amazing for blending. I totally get why people use oils and acrylics with their mediums so they can blend together. But I personally don't like the ugly. I couldn't ever get past like the ugly stage of the painting. Like, you know, the oil, you have to like build all the colors on top, and then you go from dark to light with oils, or mid-tone to dark and then light with oils. Whereas while I'm watercoloring, what I see is what I get, and I know what I need to do in the interim in order to change that. And watercoloring has just been more relaxing for me. So I've made plenty of oil paintings for school, and a lot of them were like figure paintings or something. And I actually had a zombie painting that I made and I sold, which was funny because my professor was like, I don't think that you're going to be able to market this. And I'm like, oh, really? And it was the first and only oil painting I sold. So let's see. What is the best piece of art I made? Oh my gosh, I don't know, because I always end up not liking my stuff later. But you know what I'm still really fond of? I'm still really fond of my Sally piece about the little prints that I had of her. I think she's all gone. I don't remember. But my Sally piece that I did about a year ago, I'm actually like, I really love her. I don't know if she's the best piece of art that I've made, but she's definitely my favorite. I'm trying to see if I have any more prints of her. I think she might have been sold out. I think Sally got sold out. But the one of her and in front of the moon with her black cat and the tombstones is my favorite one. Okay, let's see. Any tips for action pose work? I'm working on an action pose, but it's hard. I'm actually trying to learn the same thing too. And that's why I try to make things flow with like Symmetra and stuff. If you like watching action movies, maybe pay attention to how those go. Maybe take some screen caps and like do like quick little gesture studies of them. Like instead of trying to draw the whole thing out, do a bunch of teeny tiny like just gesture sketches. And be like, okay, this is head, this is chest, this is legs, this is arms. Does this look good? No, okay, move on. So you don't spend too much time and you know, they're tiny sketches. And there's also a bunch of iStock photography to look at, whether it be on Pinterest or DeviantArt. They have a lot of action poses. A lot of them are really still and stiff, but I suggest if it's still or stiff, you can always over exaggerate the pose. I wonder if this would help any. Hold on. Woo! Too much? Yes, too much. I brought out all these lights because I thought I was going to need them, but apparently I only need my overhead light. Okay. I'm trying to get a good angle on this guy. Sorry if I'm giving you guys vertigo. Let's see. Okay, so let's answer another question. What art supplies do I use the most? I use these watercolors the most. And I use, to sketch, I use Prismacolor Colorase color pencils. I use the rose pencil the most. I've been using the Tuscan Red too for like darker things. Like him, I use the Tuscan Red because obviously he's going to be a little more gritty. But I love these pencils because, and people are always like, why are you drawing in pink? Why are you drawing in this? They blend really well with the watercolors. They're not as messy like as graphite. You know, if graphite smears, it gets everywhere and it looks disgusting. And I just like how it just doesn't make my stuff look like a piece of poo-poo. And it blends really well with my watercolors. But I use these for my sketching the most. As far as inking, I go anywhere between using the Pentel Pocket brush pen. And I was for a while, I switch it up. I switch it up constantly. I was using the Pentel Pocket brush pen. Then I was using the Ziva brush pen extra fine. And now these past couple days or weeks, I've been using the Pilot brush pen because it's like squishy. And instead of having the really fine tip, I feel less pressure, like, you know, because I'm like, oh man, I don't want the very teeny tiny tip of the brush to veer off and go do something that I don't want it to do, because it's just squishy. So it's going to stay in line and I can get the various line weights that I want without, you know, hurting my piece. Let's see. Hey, you use other alcohol markers. I used Prismacolors before in school because that's the one that they wanted us to use. And I was okay at them. I wasn't very good, and I've always tried using markers, and it has been really bad for me. But then after my mom bought me some Copics, and then I got some more Copics for Christmas, I really sold on them. They work really well for me, and they're quick. Like, I love watercolors and everything, and the texture and painting, and this will always be my favorite. But for something like quick or something, I like using the markers like for test stuff, or like the Jack piece that I made for Christmas. He was nice and quick because, I mean, bam, he's dry. You know, it's just one thing. I could add a little thing and do the marker quick, and it's like it didn't take very long. So I have used Prismacolors, and when I was younger I used Crayola, and then now I use Copics. Do I think it's better to practice drawing faster or taking my time? I think you need to take your time. what's the rush? I mean, in school, they had us do, when we were doing figure poses, we would do 1 minute poses, then 5 minute poses, then 10-minute poses, and then like 1 hour poses. But I think, okay, so let me put it this way. If somebody's commissioning you a piece, are they paying you for your time, or are they paying you for your drawing? If they love your art and they like your style and they're willing to spend money on it, then even if Joe could draw McCree too, but he could draw McCree in 1 day and have it done, and it's for me going to take 2 days, but he likes my McCree, he's not going to care because he wants my McCree. Their client doesn't care. As far as becoming a better artist, yeah, it's good to, like, you know, the more you practice, the quicker you will become, the more you practice. In the beginning, while you're practicing and trying to get better, don't worry about going fast. Worry about one thing at a time. Don't stress yourself out. Let's see. What watercolor brand do I use the most and why? I use the Utrecht brand because that is, before Dick Blick bought them out, that is that's the brand of watercolor, or that was the store that was by my that was the store that was by my school, and they had the most reasonable prices. Like, I have all my tubes from college still, and they were 99 cents. And I still have more than half of them are still usable. Just the colors that I use more frequently have run out. But I use those the most. And then as of now, I've been using, because the Utrecht brand is actually, because they were bought out by Dick Blick, they're actually a little more expensive. So I haven't been using them. Sometimes I use, you know, whatever brand I could get a hold of at Jerry's Artorama if I just so happen to be visiting, or there was one in the area, but there never really has been unless I was traveling. But now there's a Dick Blick nearby, and I use the Winsor Newton Cotman ones because Winsor Newton is normally expensive, but the Cotman is their student brand, which means, so you'll notice on McCree, I've done several coats. So there's less pigment in it. So I have to do more coats. And that's the difference between the normal brand and the student brand, and that's okay. I will go over and do layers and make coats instead of spending $20 on a tube instead of $5. But the Winsor Newton Cotman ones are usually like $5 or $4, and that might be like, oh my god, that's so much for paint. But it's like, I still have the 99-cent Utrecht tubes from when I was in college, and I'm still using those. The only reason why I get more paints is because I might want a different shade of red or purple to use, but I'll show you more than half of my paints. Like these, I bought all these in college when I was 19 years old. I'm 26 now, and I've been doing watercolors ever since I graduated school. So I'm still using the same tubes, these 99-cent tubes. And now they're a little bit, the Winsor Newton Cotmans, oh, that's Grumbacher. This one was on sale, but they're the same size, or they might even be a little larger. So these were 99 cents. So like, let's say you get the same thing. You're like, oh, I have to pay $5 for this, but you only need so much paint at a time, and then you make it last. Okay, let's see, another question. How do I use watercolor pencils? I got a set for Christmas, and I don't know how much water to use and such. I'm guessing not very much. Watercolor pencils can be used a couple different ways. You can either color your entire piece with the pencil and then layer water over it and then add your layers of color and then put another wash of water on top of it. But you have to spend the money on a good brand of pencils to do that, or it's not going to work out for you. Or you can actually just take a wet brush and brush the tip of the watercolor pencil and the pigment will come off. I actually have a review of watercolor pencils on my channel from Evergreen Art Supply, and they weren't really high quality colored pencils, but you know, I've made it work. But I showed you the different ways that you could use them if you want to check that out. And there's tons of other videos on YouTube, and I think a couple of people on the video that I did the review of named a couple of brands of watercolor pencils that were better, but I don't particularly use them because I thought I was spending more time using them. I thought they were supposed to save me time, and I was spending more time. Where did I purchase my Pentel brush pen? I go to jetpens.com. Jetpens.com, and like the best thing to do is get like their sample pack for $25 because these pens can go anywhere between $10 and $15 by themselves. So you may as well get 5 brush pens for $25, free shipping, and then, I mean, like, you really can't beat that price. And then all you have to do is buy the refills, and then that's it. Actually, I think I bought this one from Amazon because I think Jet Pens, like, because it was close to Inktober, they raised the price on it. And I didn't need to buy another brush pen sampler pack because I have all those pens already. But yeah, I go to jetpens.com or Amazon, and they'll usually have a pretty wicked deal on those for you. How do I stop myself from spending money on excess art supplies? I used to do it a lot in college because I was really experimenting, and so I have a bunch of watercolor paper that I haven't used yet, and sometimes I have like sketchbooks that I decided that I didn't like. I guess it's like the same with anything else. I'll be in there and I'll be like, well, do I really need this makeup? Do I really? I'll walk around the store with it for a little while. Do I really need this? Am I really going to use this? If I'm trying something new, I'll only buy like a little bit at a time. So like when I bought the pastel set of the Copics, I only got 6 because it's just a little bit at a time. So, and then if it didn't work out, then you didn't really lose any money because you only spent $20 on it instead of a bunch of money on it. But I used to, unfortunately, I was not good at doing that because I had a friend that worked at Michael. So she'd be like, oh my God, all the Bristol board is on sale. It's $10. And I'd be like, oh, I gotta get it because, you know, it's on sale, man. Bristol board is expensive. But you'll learn like what to spend, especially when you're out on your own and you have bills for like other things. You have to learn, you know, how to manage your money and be like, okay, do I really need this? And then if it's that important, be like with the Copics, be like, I don't have the money to afford this, so maybe I'll ask for some money for Christmas so I can save up for them, or ask for them for Christmas, or whatever the situation may be. Like if you know it's something that you might not be able to grab for yourself. But I would always like never, the best way to do it is maybe walk around with it for a little while in the store. And then like, cause I know what you're talking about, like the first general excitement of like, oh my God, this will look so cool. But I can't tell you how much like canvas and how much extra stuff I got because I thought I was going to use it and now I don't. And now I'm like overloaded on it and I need to get rid of it. So walk around with it for a little bit, decide if you really need it, and then maybe buy half of or just a smaller quantity of what you initially intended to. Hope that is of some help because I'm really bad at that. Let's see. Do I use gouache? If I do, how do you know how to work with them? I might invest in buying gouache, but I'm not sure how to use it. I've tried gouache. I don't really care for it because it's basically the hybrid child between it's the hybrid child between a watercolor and acrylic. So you can mix and like not worry about it being like very plasticky like acrylic is, but because of that it's also very chalky and I don't like how chalky it is. So if you were to use it, be prepared that it's going to be a little chalky, which is, you know, in some cases fine. I mean, I love texture, you guys know that, but you basically would use it the same way you use acrylic. You'd have to paint dark to light, or you could, and then if you wanted to put some more dark on, you could, because you could layer it the same way. Like you can layer it the same way you can acrylics and oil paints, basically. For a beginner at watercolor, would you suggest tubes or pans? It doesn't matter because the paint is all the same. The pan is really just, I guess it's easier because it's already in there for you. So I guess if you can find, and there's plenty of cheap pans out there with good watercolors in them, you can just as easily, you can do a pan. It's like personal preference. I started out with tubes because that's what our teacher wanted us to do. So that's what I did. So, I mean, it's really like a preference. Like if the tubes are more expensive and like they're going to take up, you know, more of your room, maybe don't start with that. If the pan might be easier just as far as like accessibility and getting stuff around and just, you know, but it really doesn't matter because it's going to be the same paint. Like these came out of a tube, but when they're not wet, they're dry. So it's basically the same thing as a pan. It's just you're in control of how much paint you're dealing out at a time. So it's more or less the same. But if you know, only want so much to worry about, maybe perhaps consider using the pans. Let's see. Touching back on action poses, I met Gerard Way and Nick Darrington at Comic-Con, and I recall them saying sometimes action poses sometimes don't seem to come together until the very end when you start adding detail. Is that true? Not sure. I feel like a lot of my pieces, like this especially, and then my somber one that I did a little while ago, I felt like they weren't really working, and maybe that's why it's important that like no matter how bad something looks, that you finish it, even if it doesn't look perfect. Like just finish it so you can see you finished it, and then at the end, if you don't like it, you say, okay, what don't I like it? What don't I like about it? And then you have notes and you are ready for it next time. But this particular scenario, I'm not sure. I wouldn't. I mean, in my opinion, I think that's a personal preference because I know for a fact that, oh wow, that looks way more red. It is not that red. It is not that red in the webcam, but whatever. You guys will see it when I post it. Because sometimes I'll like my sketch better of something that I drew. And then sometimes I'll be like, wow, this drawing is going to come out so bobo. I don't know what I was thinking. You know what I mean? And then I finish it and it comes out really good. So I don't know if it has any direct correlation to action poses. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think that's a personal preference, which is completely fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess like if you're talking in the sense of the thumbnails, maybe your thumbnails, I find with me, my thumbnails tend to usually look a whole lot better than my than my initial piece, like my somber thumbnail that I did for her action pose. I thought her thumbnail looked better. And I think it's because when I get down to actually oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The train just left the station. When I get down to actually drawing it, like when you're making the thumbnail, you're just trying to think about, all you're worried about is you're just worried about the making it an action pose. And then when you're drawing it out, you're like, okay, now I gotta think about anatomy. Now this is way bigger. Now you're spending your time. I'm in love with this. This is important to me, and I gotta make sure that this is good. So I think that happens. It happens to me. So it's really just paying attention and just learning through your art. Like if we sit here and we overanalyze and we think about like everything that could possibly go wrong, I swear to God, this is not this red, it's really brown. I promise. I don't know what the light issue is with this. I wonder if I put this on, if it'll help. No. If I put this on and then I move it, why does it look so brown, red? Is it because it's wet? That's bothering me. I don't want you guys to think that I don't know how to color palette my stuff. Anyways, next question. Potentially relevant. Do I read any manga at all? I used to read manga a whole lot when I was little. I read Dragon Ball, and I read Inuyasha, and I read Rurouni Kenshin, and I used to watch all those shows and stuff too, but not as of recently. I haven't recently read any mangas. But of course, I went through my stages when I was younger where I was like, oh my gosh, Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, Cowboy Bebop, Yu Yu Hakusho, and all those other things like that. And my sister and my friends were really into Sailor Moon. And I would watch that on occasion too, but I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah. Let's see, what watercolor paper do I like the most? Because I use watercolors, but a lot of the paper eventually warps, maybe because I use too much water. You might be using too much water, or it could be you need like a stronger, see what, I'm like so scared, like I want to keep painting, but that's like exactly like why I'm testing now is to make sure he's not gonna warp, or like if your paper's still wet and then like I try and put more in here, then my paper's gonna come off. But any hoozles, it depends on the pounds. So like right now I'm working in, for example, I'm working in a mixed media Canton sketchbook, and it's 98 pounds. The watercolor sketchbook that I just finished was 140 pounds. I prefer to use watercolor paper or vellum board. However, the vellum board is a lot like, sorry, I'm trying to readjust here. The vellum board is a lot like hot press watercolor paper. So it's like smooth. And that's why I like these sketchbooks, because they're smooth and there's not a whole lot of, shall we say, texture. And then I do like, when I want the texture on my pieces, I will use the hot press or the cold press. I forget which one, forgive me. I haven't had a lot of sleep. But like this is smooth. I think I prefer the smooth look unless I want the texture, or the client when they get the commission, if they want the texture. The more thicker the watercolor paper is, the more it's gonna suck in your paint. So you might wanna use more pigment. And then with the Bristol board, you just have to make sure that you do like little light layers at a time so it doesn't warp or ruin your paper. But so I would suggest either using less water. You might be working wet into wet. I work wet into dry, obviously, which means I don't put water down and then add the paint. I just add the paint and the water together to a dry element. And then, you know, it's just testing. So maybe perhaps don't go to the art store and maybe buy a little, I think they actually have like little tester pads, like little drawing pads where like one section of the pad, it'll be like this big. One section will be drawing, one will be sketching, one will be watercolor, one will be Bristol. And then so you can have these little pads and you can test it, and they're just a couple dollars. Let's see. But the watercolor paper, I'm so sorry. The watercolor paper I use the most is whatever's in this Mixed Media sketchbook. And then I also use the Canson watercolor paper that is 140 pounds in various sizes. Have I ever wasted any art supplies because I never used it? Let's see. I don't know. Like what you mean by like waste? Like just mess around with it? I don't think I would waste anything. I think I have plenty of other friends that are that are artists. I mean, I went to art school, so I have a lot of friends. And what happened was at the end of school, like I was like, all right, watercolor's my deal. And then my other friend was like, all right, oil painting's my deal. So I gave him my canvases. And then I'm pretty sure I gave him my oil paint. Or I gave somebody my oil paint. I might still have it. I don't know. Because it's really expensive. And then like he gave me all his watercolor papers. So I don't think I would waste it. I would either I hold on to it and wait for an opportunity to use it that I might not have seen coming. And then I'll either give it to someone who will use it, one of my friends or family, and then that's it. But I do have a lot of like canvas and stuff that I need to get rid of, like stuff that I thought I was going to paint, but then I'm like, I don't care for acrylics. I might suck it up and like try and get back into the acrylics and a little bit just to see the thing. But once again, that would be a gamble because then I'd be stuck with a bunch of baby acrylic paintings. But I don't waste it ever. I'm not big on that. Let's see. Where do I get my ideas for drawing from? I get my ideas for drawing either from music, or I like writing. I like role playing, and I daydream a lot. So I'll be daydreaming, you know, maybe I'll go to my happy place while I'm at work, and or a song might come on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so totally a this song, and like this is what I imagine, and like kind of like, I don't know if anybody else does this, but like I apologize for the noise. My neighborhood is very noisy. But I will get like almost a music video in my head of like scenarios happening and be like, oh, this would be so awesome. And what I actually do is I end up making playlists for either moods or like feelings or characters or whatever's catching my eye. Obviously right now, I've been really inspired to draw the Overwatch characters because I just love the style. I love the game. I love everything about it. And it's incredibly inspiring. And like, I think it's important to draw what you like and like be like, oh, I'd love to draw like a McCree move. That I used to tell myself, oh, I'm not good enough. I need to wait until I'm good enough to draw something. Don't do that. Just draw it, because I would have so many ideas and they'd never get drawn, and then I never had any artwork and I never learned. So, but games, my favorite movies, my favorite childhood things, my favorite songs, real life. I mean, obviously my art style is very pop culture, like new pop culture, lowbrow stuff. I draw whatever's pop culture. I draw anything from cute things. I draw creepy cute things because I like horror stuff, and then I like comic books and movies. Like you're all around geek, so I have a lot of interests, and I will surround myself with, here, I'll show you. I'll surround myself with things that make me happy. So there's like a zombie unicorn. A friend got me that for Christmas. I got a print of Star-Lord from Babs. Those are all of Torian's Powerpuff Girls. This is Torian's Sally. I have a little baby Tsum Tsum Bucky, a teeny tiny baby Tsum Tsum Iron Man, more Tsum Tsums for the holidays, stuff by other artists, a painting by Justin O'Neill, like unicorn stuff, more unicorns. I've got a Deadpool and a little weenie dog pen right here. I've got clay that my friend made, some crystals for good energy, and then I have a giant, ugly Star-Lord Tsum Tsum that I just bought myself because I would like to squeeze him. And then I have like Moana figures. Like I've got figures all around my apartment and stuff by other artists surrounded by me. So to keep myself inspired and keep myself happy, like it's really important to surround yourself with things that make you happy and things that inspire you. Like even if it's just your workplace or just your room or what have you, like it's very, very important that you make it your own and you make it a happy place for you. Sorry, I'm just adjusting this now that I did that little impromptu tour. But that's where I get most of my ideas from. And then a lot of times I don't have any ideas. And that's happened to me as of recently after Inktober and my little season of anxiety. So I've been stuck in the Overwatch thing, and I kind of, what I'll do is I'll go back to old pieces and I'll draw it again. That's a great, great, great way to really kickstart your inspiration and like make you feel like, okay, this is okay that I'm not, I'm still better than this drawing over here. And every time I do a draw this again thing, I always feel better. My biggest struggle as a new artist is working too quickly on pieces, and I end up not being happy with my work in the end. Do you have any advice on how to slow down while working on my art? Well, I have this problem too. So don't worry about it. Usually with all of my pieces, when I'm done, I'll be like, well, that looks like booty. But you gotta remember to be kind to yourself. I mean, remind yourself that every piece that you make is not going to be perfect. Every piece that you make is not going to be like Mona Lisa belongs in the Louvre. You know, it's not gonna be the best piece. It doesn't matter. You're making art, you know, because you like making it. And it's understandable to get frustrated because you're like, this is important to me and I want it to look good. So I understand where the frustration comes from. But what I've really learned is we're our own worst enemy, and we really can't do that. And I know what you mean by like you want the instant gratification, you want to draw, and you want to just get it over with. So you might go too fast and you might ruin your thing. So maybe, I mean, as far as working too quickly on pieces, I have not had a choice because I have a full-time job, so I don't get the opportunity to move faster, but a lot of people envy moving fast. So maybe if you think you're going too fast and that's hurting you, you maybe might want to think about working on a couple things at a time. So maybe one night or one day you do the thumbnails for one piece, and then maybe the next day you start sketching one of those thumbnails, or one day you do all your sketches, and then another day you put the flats, and then another day you add the details. So like, or you work on a couple of things at one time, which I strongly discourage against because you will get burnt out. But you might have to, it might take you having to get like burnt out for you to realize like, oh man, maybe I should take it easy. But maybe you might be the kind of person who likes working on a bunch of things at a time. Every artist is different. It's just figuring out for yourself what is going to work and what is going to work well for you. So if I were you, I would experiment on maybe doing a couple of pieces at a time, because maybe that's going to slow you down. Just be like, okay, here's my thumbnails for my thing. I'm going to make a sketch for this. Okay. Now I'm going to make a sketch for this. Okay. Now I'm going to make a sketch for this. Okay. And then I'm going to ink this. And while this is inking, I have to stop and I have to let it dry and let it breathe. Or maybe make a deal with yourself. Maybe be like, okay, today I'm going to draw and I'm going to do art for like 2 hours. And then the rest of the day, I am going to play video games. I'm going to relax, or I'm going to watch a show on Netflix. But I totally get what you mean. I totally understand the whole rushing and wanting your stuff to be done because you're excited and you're in the mood and once you got the groove, you don't want to stop because you don't want to lose that feeling, right? Then don't. But if it means, I totally understand what it means, like you have to slow down in the moment so you don't rush. Just remind yourself, because our brains wander so quickly and it's so easy for them to do that, but that's okay. Just keep reminding yourself, okay, I'm moving too fast. I need to go slower. Maybe start with a couple of practice sketches and then just work on those slowly instead of like big things that you really care about. No, we've lost like 10 people. Am I boring? Is it because I didn't agree to the bulge? Let's see. Who's my favorite Overwatch character to play? Let's see. This is hard because it keeps changing. I'm new. I've only been playing Overwatch for a month now. So I'm behind everybody, essentially. First, my favorite person was Farah. And And then I would go between, depending upon like if someone already picked them already, or like what the map needed. I would go between Farah, Sombra, and then McCree. But now I'm really, really digging Symmetra. And I've been practicing on getting good at her. So right now, Symmetra is my favorite person to play. McCree is actually my favorite person to play, but I'm just not. He's so hard. He's so hard to get good at. And I really, really would love to be good at him, but he's really difficult to get good at, and I need to get good at him, because how can you not like? He's too much. He's a clown. He's a clown. All right, let's see what else. Do you find yourself drawing, painting more portraits or full body? And while I was working in the smaller sketchbook, I was doing a lot more portraits, and I wanted to start practicing more full body stuff. And it was difficult when I had my much smaller sketchbook. So that's why I got this bigger one. So I am definitely going to be practicing more full body stuff. Full body is a little bit more intimidating. But like, I think it's important to get a good grip on like everything, if that makes sense. Like, okay, I'm good at faces, now I need to get good at what shall I say? Now I need to get good at hands. Now I need to get good at a torso. You can take things like step by step and flesh it out. So while I was doing a lot of portraits and focusing on people's faces, I'm like, I need to focus on poses and full body. So I like portraits because they're easier, and then I can put all of my energy into just stylizing it and having fun with like just a bust. But then at the same time, you kind of can get that satisfaction with a full body. But for me, because I haven't been doing a whole bunch of full bodies, it's been frustrating because I've been out of practice with them. But I'm going to get into practice, and I'm going to get good, because now I have this big giant sketchbook to work in. Let's see. Do I ever revisit old ideas you haven't completed? Yeah, Cat the Bat is actually an old idea. She was just like a painting that I did years ago. And then I was like, well, maybe this could be something. And she's actually been in my mind a lot. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with her. Like, again, she's important to me. So I'm like having a hard time drawing her because she's important to me. Or like fleshing her out and saying, okay, this is her, because she's important. So that's why I'm kind of dragging on that. Okay, good. It does not look that red in person, I swear to God. I'm not making him a ginger. But yeah, I will revisit kind of like with the when I do the draw this again. I guess you could say that's revisiting old ideas, right? Technically, sort of, maybe. But I will go back and I'll look at them and I'll be like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I drew a lot of like nonsensical stuff when I was younger, so I wouldn't necessarily say I had a bunch of like great ideas. But the draw this again thing, I will revisit, and if kind of like Cat the Bat, because I'm definitely going to turn her into something because I want to. I guess the answer to that is yes. The question is yes. How do you know when the piece is done or not? I always want to do intricate work, but then when I start, I like the minimalism of it and don't know if I should keep going or not. That's a good question. A lot of problems that people have is they usually don't know when to stop. And like I have had that problem too. So a good way to figure this out for you, because you're obviously trying to figure out what you like and what makes you happy with your pieces, is I think what you should do is when you have your sketch, get some tracing paper and make 2 copies. So we'll make 2 copies that aren't your original. And then after you've made the copies that aren't your original, color one in the minimalistic way, and then continue on the other one. And then so you have your original sketch in case you don't like either one of them, but maybe keep doing that until you find the way you really want your stuff to appear. But I've definitely overworked my stuff before, and sometimes I've wanted to go more minimalism. It's honestly just like anything else. It's just like practicing it. Whew, okay. Oh, I think I need some tea. He's getting really close to being done, but he's very close. Promise he's not this red, this webcam. Making everything red. But oh well. Let's see, I'm gonna get some tea. I want him to dry again before I go over with any more details. And I think I might do the rest of his details in colored pencil, actually, just to be on the old safe side. So I think we have enough of his colors down. Woo! New questions. Here we go. Do I ever draw realistically? Also, how long did it take me to become as good as I am? Oh, thank you. I don't think it's that good. Well, I don't personally like drawing realistic things. I like drawing stylized and illustrative things. But in practice, obviously, in order to understand basic anatomy and how things work, you kind of have to visit realistic drawings and try and emulate them as best you can, so then you can carry that over into making your own style and your own anatomy, including and not including what it is you want to include. I drew realistically a lot in college, but it is not my cup of tea. I don't really like that. And no offense to anybody who does draw realistically, but if they're more or less just copying a picture, then I really don't see a point to it, because it's already there. It's already made. Like, what else are you adding to that? You know, like when I'm making an illustration, I'm making something mine. So this is not my character, but I'm putting my own spin on it. It's in my style and it makes me happy, and just he's practice, you know what I mean? And I don't think they're like drawing realistically. Obviously, we don't have any realistic pictures of McCree, but I've seen realistic arts of McCree, and that's cool if that's their style. But I just, number one, I don't have the patience for it. And number two, I get more enjoyment out of drawing things stylized. Squid told me I'm great and to shut up. It took me my whole life. I have been drawing ever since I was little. I know no one ever wants to hear this, but I am not lying. I've been drawing ever since I was a little girl, and doing crafts and coloring. And I went to art camp, and wherever I went, whenever I had free time, if I wasn't reading, I was drawing. And I've always been drawing. And there are people who are younger than me who maybe haven't even been doing that and they draw better. But that's not the point. You have to focus on you. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, because everybody's art journey is different. Everybody's situation is different. And so we really don't ever compare yourself to anyone else. You just worry about you and your journey. I mean, I've been on Instagram for like, what, 3 or 4 years now? And now I'm only just now getting to like 7 or 8,000 followers. Like, to me, I think that's taking a really long time. Whereas like my friend Ari, she's been on Instagram for 1 year and now she has 60,000 followers, but I can't compare myself to her, even though it's really hard because she lives in the same house and I see how great she does all the time. Now I'm like, you bitch. But you know, I think you know, it's okay to be like that for a second, and then you gotta remind yourself and take it down back to reality. But I noticed that the less I worried about, you know, my art not being good enough, and the more I just did it and I just made art and stopped worrying about it. I'm still mixing paint over here, I'm sorry. The less I worried about that and the more that I just did the art, I was learning more and I was practicing more. So you like, I'm sorry if this is not the answer you wanted to hear, but you literally get better by doing it, because you can't learn anything if you're not practicing or involving. And I also started doing better when I involved myself in the art community and when I made art friends. You want people who are going to be honest to you in the best way possible. And you want a fresh set of eyes to look at your stuff and be like, oh, hey, have you thought about doing this way? Or have you thought about that? Or like, this looks okay, but this looks off to me. Maybe flip it around or look at it through a mirror. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, you'll learn something. Everybody has something to offer that maybe you hadn't considered before. Let's see. Oh, Gweakles, what are your thoughts on handedness? What is handedness? I'm so sorry. I don't know what that means. Handedness. Quick explanation. Handedness, what is? Yeah, okay. I think I need to do the rest of him in color pencil before I overwork him. I'm gonna put my watercolor to the side. I'm gonna let him draw a little bit, and I'm just gonna answer your questions for a little while he dries completely. And we'll do some one-on-one. Handedness is left-handed or right-handed. I'm trying to find the question again. What are my thoughts on handedness? I don't know. I couldn't answer for you because I'm not left-handed, so I can't tell you their struggles in art. I'm sure they're completely different than the struggles with people who are right-handed art. I can't give you a valid answer because I don't know what they're going through or what they have to do in order to deal with that. Sorry, you have to look at my face again while we're waiting for Mr. McCree to dry over here. But don't worry, my house isn't on fire. I just have a lot of candles, so it smells nice. I need teeth. But I know that a lot of my friends and my sister's left-handed, so I know that things smear for them. So that must be really hard. I know that they have to wear those gloves because, you know, it works differently. And I mean, from what I've seen and what I would imagine, things are more difficult for them. And if you're ambidextrous, then I'm jealous, and how dare you? I think it is important who's doing this? Loish, very popular artist. She is training herself to use both of her hands because I think she had like tennis elbow or something, and her hand wasn't doing so hot, and that's how she makes her money and her income. So I think it's important to maybe practice with both if you can, like if you have the time. But if it's something you love and like something happened to my right hand, I'd be like, crap, now I gotta go all over again. But I'd be using this hand until it was making good stuff. What are my New Year's resolutions? I don't, sorry. Talking for a straight, how long have we been going? How long have we been going for? Oh my God, it's 8:41, it's almost 2 hours, no way. Talking for 2 straight hours when you're normally really quiet and you don't talk to anybody for long periods of time. Where's on my voice? I don't really have any New Year's resolutions because like I understand the whole gist behind them, but I don't like, I think that I have enough short-term goals and long-term goals on the regular that I strive to meet normally. So I don't necessarily have to like make a resolution. Like I know some people will be like, oh, I'm gonna stop this. I would say my resolution, but I would do this anyways, just for the sake of being a part of the New Year's. I'd say I want to get to a point where I'm comfortable with my anxiety. I'm moving past my anxiety and I can do things that my anxiety has trained me to not be able to do before. I would like to go to more conventions and I would like to meet more of you. I want my art to improve better. I want to be a kick-ass artist. I want to be even better. I know I can be better and I keep striving and I want to make more art and put out more content and more videos for you guys. Part of me, I want to work on several portfolios, send them out so I can stop being a visual designer at this marketing company because I think it's giving me more anxiety than I need. But I would like to get a job doing something that drawing and doing illustrations just like I want to, and get over my anxiety and get in a happy place there. And I'm happy with where I live and I've come a long way, but I really need to get into a safer neighborhood. So those are my New Year's resolutions. What is my favorite style to draw? My style. I like drawing comic book-esque. And then there are times like I like drawing with my colored lines so it's not so hard. So depending upon the feeling of the drawing and how hard or soft I want it to be, most of the time I like drawing like very comic booky or very concept art-ish. Like I would love to be like an illustrator for like creating character concepts and stuff like that for like either video games or games for your phone, like whatever, what have you. My favorite style is like concept art, and that's why I leave my sketches under my pieces. I don't erase my pencils. If anybody's bought my originals, you've seen that, like you see all my pencils under there, and I don't erase it because I like that. I like the texture and I like the appearance of the concept and seeing how it moved and it's all there in one piece. Let's see. How did I get the name Gweakles? Gweakles is actually a nickname that my father gave me. My name is Kirsten. Hi, nice to meet you. But my nickname for Kirsten was Kiki, and that's also why I just go online as Kiki because that's just what all my friends call me. You're all my friends. So you were free to call me Kiki, you're free to call me Gweek, Kirsten, Gweakles, whatever you would like. But my dad is one of those dads who makes up a bunch of nicknames for everybody in the family. So the evolution of Kirsten, Kiki, then it was Squeak, and then it became Gweek and Gweakles. So Gweek and Gweakles is actually what my dad and my brothers call me in real life. It's not like I didn't just randomly make up some name. I think I was in maybe my last year of high school and he came up with that name and it just really stuck with me. And I was like, that's my own. That's me. That's so fitting. That's like, usually people are like, what the heck is a Gweakles? And I'm like, a Gweakles is me. But I used to have a really good relationship with my dad before his second divorce. And I felt like it was like something that he gave to me. And it's been like my handle for everything ever since. So it's really important and endearing to me. So that's where it came from. Hey Gweakles, do I have any portfolio tips for colleges or in our job? My tips for you are to make sure that your portfolio is specifically dedicated to what you're applying for. For college, they want to see a lot of figure drawings. They want to see that you know how to use shapes and forms, and they want to see everything you have. For colleges, I would do a broad spectrum of like, I would include a lot of figure drawings and a lot of sketches so they know that you know how to draw and you're not just like copying and then like you just have a portfolio of a bunch of finished pieces. And then whatever you're applying for. So if you're applying for illustration, then illustration pieces, include that in there, especially for a job. So a job, let's say you want to be a concept artist or a storyboard artist, figure drawings and storyboards for the storyboard artist. Maybe a couple of color paneled stuff, but you want it specific to what you're applying for, because then they're going to be like, well, they're really good at watercolors, but we need storyboards. You know what I mean? So they're just going to, they got piles of portfolios to look at. So they pick up your portfolio and they're like, these aren't storyboards, that's all. It doesn't matter how good you are. So I would, for school, give them everything you got, give them realistic, give them stylized, whatever makes you happy or what you're striving for, and include the figure drawings. If you're applying for an art job, tailor your portfolio specifically to what you're applying for. A lot of people make that mistake, and a lot of people in the industry say that people do that. Let's see. The difference between my hand drawings is quite interesting. My righty drawings are very stiff, but exact to control. My lefty drawings are loose, but hard to control. Well, it sounds like you've been drawing longer with your right hand, if I had to guess, but I don't know you personally. It's loose because you don't have the same control or as much control, or you're using a different, like, I don't know, like when I try and draw with my left hand, I feel like it's an alien. I feel like I'm like, do what you're supposed to and all this other stuff. So maybe because you're using both, it's difficult for your mind to be like, okay, well, this one knows what it's supposed to do, and this one knows what it's supposed to do, but the other one kind of like freaks out a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. You could use that to your advantage. So you can use your lefty drawings as the base for your pieces because they're loose, and then finish them with your right hand because you have more control. Let's see, I have the same spinal muscular atrophy. That means I don't not have the same. I have SMA, which means spinal muscular atrophy. That means I can't walk and my bones aren't as strong as other people. And you've really inspired me with your art. I love you. It's so sweet. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry to hear about your muscular atrophy. That is, I couldn't even possibly imagine what that must be like. But I'm very sorry, and I am absolutely thrilled that I could be of some inspiration or some guide or some sort of happiness to you and help you with your art in any possible way. All right, let me see. I think McCree is dry enough, so I think we're going to color pencil him in. Let me set this up. Let's see what I need here. Got my handy dandy colored pencil right here. And I've got my handy dandy white gel pen right here. So let's finish this puppy. I kind of wanted to do like a Route 66 background behind him. I don't know if we should still do that or not. I don't know. Let's finish him first, and then we'll decide together. Okie dokie. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to get in close so you can see what I'm actually doing without getting in the way of me actually doing it. Okay. And the question is, art-wise, what are my goals for 2017? Get good, get better, make portfolios, and get into a job that I would actually like to be doing. I would like to make an art book. I would like to make some enamel pens. I would like to make my own characters, perhaps maybe some comics. I don't know. Maybe I would really love to do comic book covers. That would just be freaking awesome. So, all right. Since he's mostly brown, where's my tester sheet? My good old tester sheet. Since he's mostly, his palette is brown, it would be good to stick with this Tuscan red, or maybe even something a little bit darker, and like that dark blue that he has kind of going here for the gray area. Do you know a way to calm stress while doing art? Due to school, I have high stress levels and love art, but it's hard to concentrate on finishing a piece. I know your pain because all day long at work, I just want to come home and draw. And then by the time I come home, I'm like utterly exhausted, and I feel like the life is sucked out of me and I don't have the energy to do anything. So a good thing to do calm your stress is I listen to Rainy Mood. It's either a website and there's an app for it, and it's literally just the sound of rain. And you wouldn't believe how actually calming that is. Like, it helps me. I also sometimes create playlists for myself to listen to. And don't laugh at me, but I do. Let's see, for his cape, to add that little designy thing he's got going on. But yeah, the Rainy Mood app and listening to music really helps. And maybe you need to come home and instead of trying to dive right into art, even though you're excited, maybe you need to like take a shower, or go for a walk, or go for a run if you exercise, or maybe you need to sorry, I'm just picking out all the possible colors that I should maybe need. You know, it's going to be a trial and error. Things work differently for everyone. I know that I have to come home and I have to eat. you know, I have to eat food for a little bit. I have to sit down. I have to like wash and like I can't just come home. Like it sucks because between like 12 and 2 o'clock, I really, really want to draw, but I'm at work. So what I've been doing is I've been, do I have it in here? But I've been taking Post-it notes at work and doing quick little thumbnails at there so I don't lose my idea for later. So I can come back and be like, haha. Let's see. But I mean, you have to put yourself before anything else, because if you're not doing well yourself, then that's going to reflect in your art, and then you're just going to get frustrated again. So maybe take a look at what you're doing with your schedule when you come home and see how that affects, like, you know, your mood, and see how that affects your drawings and what it's doing to you. Maybe you need to exercise, or just go for a walk, or maybe just play some video games, or just do something, anything else that is calm and relaxing. Take a bath first. It's just that, unfortunately, trial and error. But I do really suggest taking care of yourself first, because I know you're like, no, I want to make art, and that's how I felt like this whole time that I've had anxiety. I've been like, no, I need to make art. I need to be making art, and it's hard. But the art isn't going anywhere. You can always make art. You can't, like, it's not going to go anywhere. You can keep going, and you'll be fine. So worry about taking care of yourself. Let's see. Art goals, comic book. Can you elaborate? Genre? Well, I've taken like I've taken sequential illustration in college, and it's very hard to do a comic book, and it's a lot of work, and that's why they usually have like several artists working on it at any one time. So I would probably rather do covers, or if I did comics, just like little short ones. The genre, I was probably thinking about turning Cat the Bat into like a little baby comic, like just little, not like full page things, not like volumes, not like little baby volumes, but like just a simple, this is what it is, and there's a situation here, and that's what it is. Just like, you know, a couple 1-pagers or like 2-pagers, that like maybe start out and see how I do, because I have a lot to work on. So the genre would probably be like my favorite, like fantasy, creepy, cute stuff, maybe horror stuff. I really like Western stuff. I like action stuff. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll make a ridiculous superhero. Let's see. Good evening and Happy New Year. Just asking how long it takes for you to fill up a usual sketchbook. Well, that really depends on how busy I am that month, or my health. So let's say one month I am not so busy and I feel okay coming home from work a lot those days. And then I get to, I'm on a roll. Or like, let's say for Inktober, or like any other day, I'm like, I have a lot of ideas, or like I'm just on a roll, but you know, like sometimes they don't last and they go away. But when I'm on a roll, depending upon how thick the sketchbook is, it can take anywhere between 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 months to fill in a sketchbook. And because I've been practicing a lot more, the more I practice, obviously, the more I'm going to be filling in my sketchbook. And this one's even bigger So who knows what that's going to bring. But it varies based on the kind of sketchbook it is, the kind of sketches I'm doing. I've really changed how I do. Like I used to just try and do all finished pieces. Now I just worry about, you know, maybe doing a finished piece here and there, and then maybe sketching a little here and there. Like it's different. Favorite artist or favorite YouTube artist? Do you want to know my favorite artist in general or just my favorite YouTube artist? Or both? Both. Okay. Gosh, this is hard. This is really hard. I'm gonna have to think. Sorry, guys. I think that maybe one of my favorite YouTuber artists, and I may be biased, but I think is Torian or Juicy Ink, which is actually my friend. But the fact that her commitment and like the amount of time that she puts into her videos, and she's just so wise and so upbeat and so like committed to her followers, and like all of her videos are like awesome. Like, gosh, why didn't I think of that? And I wish I had the time for that. And just she's so incredibly inspiring all the time, and she makes me want to be a better YouTuber as well. I also really adore Avo, Love Teacup Kisses, because she, before she was going through a rough patch, she was making some really inspirational videos as well. My favorite artist overall, oh, God, that's so hard. I can't, why do you saddle me with this? Gosh. I really like Cameron Stewart. And I really like, oh, guys, I can't, I just, whoever's doing the new interior art for the Star-Lord comic, that's really good too. I like Babs. And I like my best friend. Obviously, she's really inspirational to me as well. I have to, there's just so many. It's hard to it's hard to pick like just one. I can't do it. I'm sorry. What's my favorite type of sketchbook to use when I'm traveling? I'll take this with me. I used to work in like a little moleskin, and then I didn't like how small it was, like kind of like how I had the smaller version of this. My ideas for what I wanted to do got bigger, and I wanted to improve and get bigger. So I did. So I'll take this with me. I've taken this with me on Christmas Eve, and I've taken it with me basically wherever I go except for work, because I used to take my sketchbook to work and draw every day at lunch, which was a really good thing for me to be doing. But now I'm just so burnt out that I just want to eat my lunch, which is kind of sad actually. Some days I'll sketch, but I honestly, I don't have the time at lunch. That's how kind of sad it is. I don't have the time at lunch to sketch. What color is this? Indigo blue, perfect. What resources do I use to learn anatomy, figure drawing, like books, videos, classes, or what else? Well, when I was in college, I had live models. And if you have a place in your town or an art center or community in which you can have access to pay for those classes and go see those models, I would, because there's nothing better than drawing from life. So I had a lot of those classes in college, and then I have a couple of books. Here, I'll go get one right now for you to show you. Uno momento, por favor. So if you go to the bookstore or if you order online, all right, just warning right now, there's going to be nudes. You can get art model books, and they come in a variety of poses. So like, let's say you want this one pose, they'll show you this pose from all angles. And then there's like action poses, movements, it's all, they have books on it. I mean, this is, what book is this? This is, they've got like a million of them. It's a bunch. You just go to the art and anatomy section of your bookstore or order them online and just practice these. I mean, some of these are kind of just stiff, but you don't even have to go and buy a book. There's plenty of places online. Like if you type in to Google, like if you type in a figure sketch or figure drawing references, like they have timed stuff. And then of course you can get an anatomy book. This one's only okay because we're looking at someone else's drawing, but they're showing us like the best ways to draw at it, like the structure, breaking everything down and showing us how to approach it, I suppose, with the drawing. But like I said, it's like, this is good like if you're beginning. Like it may help you if you've never drawn figure drawings before, but you more or less you want to learn, like as far as this helping you how to like do the steps, that's fine. But you would always really rather learn from either a real life picture or a real life person. You don't want to learn from someone else's drawing because like I said earlier, it's going to be stylized to what they include or do not include. And you need to look at the real deal. Come on, I had the perfect. Let's see. But I had those. I use the things online. I use the references that you can get on DeviantArt and any other place too. Why, hello there. Excuse me, I'm just gonna drink some tea for a second. My throat's getting really dry. Is everybody having a good time in the chat? Everyone being nice and sweet. Squid hasn't said that she hasn't put anyone in timeout yet, so I assume that is a good thing. She was pretty stoked when she learned that she could put somebody in timeout. Okay, so what was I doing? The indigo blue, okay. There's a little. I didn't even realize this until I had to draw it, but I didn't realize that he more or less has like Reaper's mask on his on his arm. Oh gosh, my throat is not stopping to dry. Let's see. What else can we do with this? I like, my favorite part of the pieces is adding like the finishing touches and seeing how everything like kind of comes together. Oh my gosh, is it really 9/11? Holy crap. And here I was like, oh, maybe this will last for like 1 or 2 hours. No big deal. I'm having fun. Hope you guys are having fun too and enjoying it. And we're keeping each other company in the new year. He's got the mask, like it's on his bionic arm. I don't know if it's for sure Reaper's mask, but when I was drawing him and I was looking at his reference pictures, he has a skull, but I mean, I don't know if it's because it's the style of the game or because of, I don't know if it's the style of the game or if he was paying his respects to his mentor or not. But I mean, it really looks like it's Reaper's skull. Or maybe he just wanted a skull on his arm because he does have BAMF on his belt. So that is also entirely possible. What is gonna look good on this little smock of his? That's too dark. Okay, well, we can try this. You just had to have a little design on your little scarf thing, didn't you, buddy? Yeah, I definitely need a lighter pencil. People are shooting off fireworks already. It's like, guys, relax. It's only 9:14. Okay. Let's see if this will work out. That's a little better. It's supposed to be faint anyways, I guess. It's a little faint diamond zigzag he's got going on, which I find to be really weird. Like, he's got a poncho. He's a cowboy, but it's modern times. But he's a cowboy and he has a poncho. But that's okay. Still love him. Still love him. And I won't judge. I don't understand, but I won't judge. Is that? Yeah, that's gonna come up way brighter now on top of that. Good deal. It's 3:14 in the morning where you are? Oh my gosh. Is that why everyone's going to sleep? I see we keep getting a lot of new Old people, welcome. If you guys are new to the live stream, feel free to ask questions. We're just hanging out and drawing, and your questions also don't have to have anything to do with art either. We can completely just talk like we're buddies and ask me whatever you want. It doesn't mean that I'm obligated to answer it, but I will answer. I will answer as many questions as I can. So if you want to be silly, go for it. We are here to have fun, enjoy each other's company. I can finish this McCree. A little bit of dignity. Let's see. It's 3:14 in one person's place, and it's 9:16 in another person's place. It's 9:16 me too, so we're Eastern Standard Time. So you know what that means? That means for Squidge, it's 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. It's 2 o'clock in the morning for Squid. Oh my gosh. Everybody give Squid some love for pointing out all the questions to me so I didn't miss them. She's feeding me the questions in another chat so I don't miss anybody's questions, and so I could focus on the art and answer your questions at the same time without having to worry about scroll. Give Squid some love. She's just getting tired. Oh, honey, if you have to go to bed, go to bed. It's okay. So what do I do in my free time other than art? That's a good question, because I have so little free time that I have to like pick and choose. So it depends on like my mood, or if I've just made an art, I'm like, okay, that should be good for a little while. I will do some creative writing. I will play video games, and I like to make playlists, and I also like watching YouTube videos. I like watching Netflix shows. Right now, Ari and I are watching Shameless. When I go over to a few friends that I actually have in this town, when I go to their places, we usually do like fun, crafty stuff, or like I like going to the movies. I'm really like mellow. Like I don't have to go anywhere. I actually prefer to be at home, just chilling and relaxing, and having like no commitments, and being like, okay, well, just gonna draw today, or just play Overwatch, or you know what I mean. Yeah, pretty simple stuff, just easy going. Sometimes maybe like go, like if there's a new, what is it? My friend's like, oh, there's a Think Geek store at the mall. I'll go check that out. Yeah, just pretty basic stuff if I'm not arting. Video games, movies, music, snuggling my pup, snuggling my sweet baby pup. Let's see. What are some tips for accepting your own style? I struggle with thinking my style is good as those I look up to. Okay, well, as I said before, stop comparing yourself to other people. I know it's hard. I do too. I did it all Inktober the whole time while I was posting. Everyone's posting, and I'm like, yay, look what I made. And then I go onto Twitter, and I'm like, holy crap, my stuff is garbage. But just remember that there's always going to be someone better than you. And you just need to focus on yourself. You just need to focus on you, not anybody else. And just remind yourself that your expectations are always going to change. Once you reach the level of where you wanted to be when you were 5, when you're 10, you're going to want to be at the level that the 20-year-olds are, and so on and so forth. So it's always consistently going to change. But that's, in a way, a good thing, because that's what's making you want to improve. If you don't think that you need to improve ever, then you're going to be doing the same thing forever, and your art's not going to be that great, because you're going to be stuck doing the same thing over and over again, and you don't think that you need to improve, and you're not going to try new things. So on a positive light, it means that you're going to keep trying to improve and get better. On the negative side, you just have to remind yourself, like, well, I'm a work in progress. What is it about this that I don't like? Okay, I don't like this. What is it about this that I do like? Okay, I like this. Maybe next time I'll try this way, and next time I'll try this that way. So that's what I've learned to do, at least. But like, okay, what is it about this piece that I didn't like? What did I do wrong? Okay, so I know for next time, this is what I gotta work on. I just got here. Do you have any tips for beginning YouTube artists like me? I mean, I wish I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. So a tip would be to be yourself. Don't try and be anything else. People can tell if you're being real or fake. Always be honest. Always be true to what you want. It's your channel. Figure out what you want to do with your channel. Why are you making a channel? Why do you want to share your art? What kind of bond are you looking to join the community? How are you going to add to the community? It's a lot of thinking. I definitely suggest going and seeing what a lot of other YouTube artists do and be like, okay, maybe I'll try that too. Like the challenges. People really like the challenges, and they're good for you as an artist to grow anyways. So I always recommend doing the challenges. Or maybe, let's say they have a challenge, but you have your own take on it. Or let's say, okay, I'm not using this light anyways, and it's driving me crazy. I'm so sorry. Taking you down the picture. All right. Take something that someone's already done and make it your own. Don't copy anything. Be original. See what you can bring to the table with something that someone's already done. How can you make it better? Listen to your followers. Engage your followers. They're people too. We might all be on the other side of a screen. It might be really easy for someone to come on and say something, or it might be really easy for you to say something, but make sure you think before you react. And most people that have like mean, nasty things to say don't expect you to call them back. So usually when you call them out on it, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's okay. I know you're 12. Don't worry about it. I mean, no matter what you do in life, there's going to be people who like it, and there's going to be people who don't. And if it's supporting you and you like it, then that's all that matters. Okay, let's see. McCree looks great so far. Thank you. I think he's not turning out so bad. I think after I put all this time into him, I don't care if he has a background anymore. Even if I originally wanted to put like a Route 66 or something behind him, I think I put so much time into him that I'm afraid to like add any more or ruin anything, if that makes any sense at all. Let's see. What can you do to keep your mind focused more on art if you really want to try drawing more? You have to force yourself to do it. So let's say I'm coming home from work and I have had a really hard day. I'm really tired and I'm really exhausted. But I know that I need to practice. So I don't feel like it. Or I don't feel inspired. You have to force yourself to do it. It sounds really crappy, but you do. You gotta force yourself to do it. And even if it doesn't come out good, you practiced that day. You tried. And I mean, if you don't have time, you might have to do it on your lunch break. You might have to do it, you know, like when you get a waking moment someplace else, you have to try and accommodate it, because it's not just going to sit and fall in your lap. It's not just going to happen. And some days it'll be easier to force yourself than it will others. Let's see, I think I want to make these more brown actually. Okay. I think you've definitely developed a unique style from what I've seen. While scrolling through the watercolor tag on Tumblr, I instantly recognized your work immediately. Really? Well, that makes me feel awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Because I feel like I've gotten to the point where I stopped worrying about my style, because I know it's going to develop as I practice more and try new things. But I think I'm becoming more comfortable with it too. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Let's see what else can I do. What else does he need? I think he needs to be a little bit more dirty. His arms, especially right here. And his eyes, I need to figure out how to pop his eyes out a little bit, because they're hiding under his hat. But he shades gun a little bit. That might be something to look into. I loved your Inktober. Are you planning on participating again next year? I'll have to see. Because while I came out pretty victorious in this Inktober and I learned a lot and I was really proud of myself, it was very stressful and draining. And I don't know where I'm going to be next year. I might not be in a situation to where, and one thing that I didn't like about it, like I like that it puts a pressure on you and it inspires you to draw and you're interacting with the community. But what I didn't like was that it made me feel the need that I needed to be on the same level as everyone else. And that's like my own personal problem. But instead of making the art and focusing on that, sometimes I was getting dissuaded by how freaking awesome everyone else's stuff was. But that's no excuse. If I absolutely have the time, I'll do it, because it was awesome. All right, now I think we need to make some stuff pop, and then I think he's going to be done. What are your tips for doing art or drawing. I think, may you please elaborate on that a little bit more? My tips for doing art or drawing. I need something a little more specific than that. I'm so sorry. Just started on an Insta ACC, would really like to grow. What's some cool ACC you recommend? I've never done ACC cards before. So I'm not sure I could recommend anything. Hold on, let me look into this to make sure I'm answering this properly. Let me just make sure that I answer this properly for you. What's the ACC? I'm pretty sure I know that you're talking about ACC cards. No. Why is it showing me about how to delete? I'm not sure what you mean by the ACCs either. I would need you to, I would need you to elaborate on that. I'm so sorry. Those last two questions, if you could please elaborate what you mean by what are my tips for doing art or drawing, and then just started an Insta. Oh, an Insta account. Oh my gosh, what a dump. I am so sorry. Oy vey. You just started an Instagram account and you would really like to grow. I'm sorry, guys. I made the mistake of staying up all night last night, giggling with my friend, watching John Wick, playing Overwatch, and then I had to wake up first thing in the morning and go do things for my mother's birthday. And it was a poor decision on my hand, but I have no regrets. Anyways, what's some cool Instagram art that I'd recommend? Here, let me see. And I'm going to say this to you guys too, while I'm looking up some accounts, because this has been Dingle. You like that, you Dingle. Great. Now Squid is just going to call me Dingle. Whatever. I don't like when people, don't you go to the artist page and don't advertise for your page on their page. That's incredibly rude. If it'd be like I was having, it's my art gallery, and you came into my art gallery and you're like, hey guys, this is really cool. I made a drawing of this. You should come over to my art gallery, leave her art gallery, and come see my stuff. So, let's see. I would recommend for Instagram, 3 artists to follow that I love. One is, let's see if we can get this to work correctly about the shine. Alyssa View, So China. She's really good. You can find her on Instagram, and maybe if I go to her, there we go. The light. Here's what I'm gonna do. I know what to do. So if you go to her account, she's amazing, and she does watercolors and inks. And you're gonna go and you're gonna look at her account. You're gonna be like, who the hell is Gweakles? Gweakles who? Then Anna Caddish. She's an animator, and she has a very, very distinct style. I would also recommend Lizard Milk. She does tattoo styles, incredibly inspiring. Her line art is incredibly inspiring. Natalie Hall. Let's see. I hate that there's ads now on this. It drives me crazy. Sibylline M. I would definitely check her out. She does watercolors and girls, and her style is just amazing. She's French. She's totally awesome. Jacksepticeye. Freaking ads. I'm trying to find like my favorite people. Mab Graves. She's incredibly awesome. Her style's really cool. And then, of course, I have to recommend, let's see, Kevin Llewellyn. He's a really dark artist, but he's got different style. And then, one of my favorite watercolorists is Caitlin Hackett. She does everything with ink. So she'll do all her details like with ink, and then she'll put a watercolor wash over it. And she's crazy good. Oh my God, this dog. Okay, I'm sorry, the ads. Of course, I have to also recommend Torianne. If you don't follow her, you probably do. She's Juicy Ink on YouTube. She's a great friend of mine, and her art is crazy good. She's incredibly inspiring, and I wish I could catch up to her. Ree. Ree is freaking awesome, but her username is RV Solochka because she's in Venezuela and Chile. But her art is so awesome, and she's such a sweet and great person. But those are just some accounts I recommend. Audra Claire, of course. She does amazing art, but I'm pretty sure everyone already knows about her. I remember following her like a year or so ago when she had like 13,000 followers. It's crazy. Jacqueline DeLeon. Obviously, she's incredibly talented, inspirational. And I think those are pretty much my faves. Anyways, I hope that is enough to get you started on looking at the other artists. Cool. So we're just on the Dingle comment. All right, maybe I need like a cough drop or something because drinking this tea. Do I have any tips in filling sketchbooks besides drawing what you like? I'm trying to improve as an artist. Figure drawings. Oh, love you too, Claire. Good luck at your party. Besides just trying, okay, if you're looking to improve, then you need to do gesture drawings. You need to do figure drawings. Go out and draw the environment. Do still lifes. Practice on drawing what you see. Practice doing poses. Practice color palettes. Practice what was I going to say? Practice different mediums. Experiment with different mediums. You need to learn how to do all of those things. But you don't have to not do things that you enjoy in order to practice that. You don't have to like not draw Overwatch and practice. You know what I mean? Like this is practice for me right now. I'm drawing. I'm making a piece. Is it perfect? No, but I drew. And I learned, and I have fun making it. So that's what's important. I'll make his suit shiny, shiny. His suit, his mechanical arm. Does anybody know what happened to his arm? Like, I try to figure out, like, if it was just always been that way, or if like he lost it in like that war thing when he was with Blackwatch. Couldn't find anything on that. And can someone explain to me why everyone ships him and Hanzo when they don't even have any history? Like, I just want to understand. Like, I would understand him and Reaper. Great, now my pen isn't working. But I would like to understand why they ship them so hard, but like they literally have no history. So I'm like, where's this coming from? Oh my goodness, I need to get new white gel pens. This one is not working out. Hang tight. And it also answered my question. Let's see. This one any better? Whoopsie. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Much better. Yes. So much detail you have to. I like using the white gel pen to separate what's in the front and what's in the back. Oh, come on, don't run out on me too. A little bit of, is it shiny too? Oh my gosh, I think it sounds like somebody's fighting outside. I hope not. Hi, Gweakles. Could you list those people in the description later? Oh boy. Sure. It is probably not going to be tonight. Maybe in the description later I will. Probably not tonight, but I'll go back and list them. Squid, remind me to list. I'm so sorry, I'm treating you like my assistant now. Well, I can always pay you. I'll pay you in Overwatch. Please remind me if you can remember to list the artists for those fine people that I showed in the video. And this is going to be shiny. Pew, 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 pew. Guys, we're not even, it's only 9:45. Stop lighting fireworks. People are so excited. They're like, we need to light these now. We're going to be listening. Where I live, it's so bad. I'm going to be hearing fireworks for like the rest of the month. It may as well be 4th of July. You shall remember. Pew, pew. Thank you. I hope everybody is having a good New Year's Eve night. I'm having tons of fun. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it because I was so tired. I was knocking on heaven's door. but I think I got my second wind and wanting to finish this McCree. I was filled with determination. So yeah, and I just love hanging out with you guys and doing these kinds of things. This is a lot of fun for me. Let's see. Okay. Ugh. I hate when trying to make the distinction of where it's appropriate to show that something's in front, and it's okay for this because I can always go back with a black marker, but it's because a lot of these, your lines and colors will get lost. What I use the white gel pen for is making sure that they don't get lost and that they pop. You can be like, oh, this is in front of this. Oh, this is in front of his arm, in case you didn't know. And I better do some streaks on the old vamp. I stop looking at fireworks. It's not time yet. Let's see. I don't think he needs that there. I think I can fix that. Oh, wait a second though. Use it on the bulge. Shut up! Oh my gosh! I cannot with you. I can't. Use it on the bulge. Yeah, here, let's. He doesn't even, it's not a bulge. His pants have to separate somewhere. You have pants on and they separate. His legs are spread out and they separate. That's it. I'm not drawing guys for you guys anymore. So make it all about the bulges, you guys. Pew, smoke. Ooh, someone's having a serious conversation outside. I'm really bad. I'm like one of those people, and I usually like to stop and eavesdrop. But I'm not gonna do that right now. Oh, that's scary. Eyes look scary. This should have a highlight. This should have a highlight. What nationality am I? I'm American. My mom, from my mom's side of the family, I'm half Scotch, Irish, and Italian. And then from my dad's side of the family, they're Jewish. I don't know where they came from. I want to do one of those Google tests, like where I get them, I pay them $100, I give them all my spits, and they tell me where my family came from. And I'm going to do that. So I will have a full answer to that question. I really think I'm just going to fix him now. And it's going to be good to go. Eagle Burger. Yes, Eagle Burger. Squid's giving me crap in the chat with her and I about, because I always say America is all about the burger and the eagle. I have to get close. I'm sorry. I have to get close. I'm going to kiss him so I can see better what's going on here. With these angry eyes. I'm not happy. The guy outside is really not happy. He is talking in a very angry tone. Phoebe, turn the lights off. We're not a part of this. I think I just need to, and then here, it looks amazing. Oh, thank you. Let's see, I don't think, I need to rewind this. These fingers got lost in the watercolors. Happens to the best of us. Yes, sending spit to find family. I forget what it's called, but you like, I don't know the name of it. Could somebody do the Google thing? But I think it's myancestry.com. You pay them $100. We'll send you a thing. You did your spit. You give them spit, like a lot of spit, and they'll tell you. They'll be like, you are one part Indian, you're one part African American, you're one part this. And I'm like, whoa, I need to know. I need to know where I come from. Let's see. I did color him in watercolor. He's watercolor, and he's colored pencil, and he's ink, and he's white gel pen. And I honestly think he's done. I think I'm done. Yeah, I think we're gonna say Ancestry DNA. Yeah, I think it's Ancestry DNA. Do you have a boyfriend? No, I don't have a boyfriend. But there was this guy who's been flirting with me, so I don't know where that's going. Yeah, I love McCree too, even though he's just he's the main cowboy. He's like the stereotype, but it's like you can't hate it. Let's see if I can get a good on this stupid webcam. This is not a good picture, but oh my god, I promise it looks so much better. IRL. The colors are not this. The colors are not that. Woof. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. How long have we been going for? It's almost 10 o'clock my time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 3 hours. I think I am gonna call that quits. But before I do, I wanna see 3 hours. Wow. Go us, Squid. Go everybody who's been a part of this. Squid, do you want to go to sleep? Thank you guys so much. Have I watched the new season of Walking Dead? I've watched all of it except the last 2 episodes because I don't have cable, so I stream it, but the thing I use to stream is not working. So I haven't seen the last 2 episodes. I'm very excited. Party! All right, Squid, you go to sleep. I love you so much. You have been amazing. Thank you for modding. Squid's been a trooper. Everybody give Squid love and kisses. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning for her right now. I should draw McCree the zombie. It's 6:55 for you, my friend. It's 9:55 for me. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning for Squid, but she can go to sleep. We love you, Squid. Thank you so much. Love you guys. You the best. But I want to see what everybody was drawing today. Let's see. And the hashtag was it's high noon, right? I believe the hashtag was it's high noon. Well, check this out. Oh wait, I have an idea. I'll just do a screen share. What am I even doing right now? What am I even doing right now? But yes, this is the McCree that I drew. If you're just now entering the stream, I colored him. And this is my work mess. Look at this mug my sister got me. Paint water? Not paint water. Like, does she know artists or what? But anywhoozles, yeah, this is the McCree. I'll post the really nice, real version of him. But I'm going to go through really quick. And if you have any last minute questions while I am, where's my mouse? While I'm going to look for the hashtag it's high noon, then give me to them now because the stream is about to come to an end. Wow. My throat is gone. I think I have to like figure out how to keep talking for longer periods of time. My sis knows cute stuff. She's actually my stepsister, but I count her as my real sister. Will streams be a regular thing here, like scheduled streams or semi-regular? I wish they could be, but because I have a full-time job and a lot of stuff has come up like out of my control, and like I have to work overtime some nights, and then I have commissions, and then just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I wish that it could be regular. I do them on the off chance when I get a second is when I do them. So sorry, I'm looking for the good old hashtags. Let's see. But I mean, I usually do them, like tonight I didn't have any plans. I've had time off, so I had the time to do it, and it was perfect because hashtag it's high noon. That is not the hashtag that I posted. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of things and it's high noon. Guys, we should have picked a different hashtag. I don't want the top post, I want the most recent. Here we go. All right, now let me screen share this. What did you say? What camera are you using to stream? The quality is nice. I still haven't answered your question. What was your Geek Girl, what was your question? It has nothing to do with bulges. The camera that I'm using right now when I'm talking to you guys is the one on my iMac. And then the one that I used to show when I was drawing was the Microsoft HD something that I found on Amazon that was reasonable the price. And yeah, I also went out to Target today and I got an Ethernet cord to hook up directly to the iMac so we would have a really good connection. And I'm so glad that it seems that you were good. Let's see. What was my highlight of 2016 and my favorite art pieces here? My highlight of 2016. God, that's hard. My highlight of 2016 is Tampa Bay Comic-Con. I I've always wanted to go to a con. I've always wanted to share my art and go there and feel like I was part of the art community. It's been something I've wanted to do forever. My friends have always gone to Comic-Con and they've always sold their art there, and I wanted to as well. And I can't believe that fudge. I can't believe that, you know, people came to see me. And it was just amazing. The whole experience was amazing. And that was my favorite part of it. And my favorite piece of art this year, I think, is the Sally piece. I don't think I can say that that's my favorite piece because I think I made her last year, actually. Thank you. Let's see. So I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so tired. I don't know what my favorite piece was. I think I was happy with a lot of them. I like the octopus boa one that I made. I like my gamer girl Princess Peach. I like the Sombra that I just made. And I really liked most of my Inktober pieces. You know what? My favorite piece was the corpse bride piece that I made for Inktober. Like, I think looking at that piece, I'm like, this is it. This is what I want my art to be every time. I want it. This is the feeling. This is what I want. What are my tips for drawing? Like, how do I get inspired and stick with it? And how do I go through artist block? My tips for getting inspired are you can do a couple things. You can walk away from all the social media stuff, and because your mind is intaking that instead of trying to be creative on its own. And then I get all my inspiration from songs, movies, comic books, shows, when I'm listening to music, when I'm in the shower, like I'll be hearing a song. Yeah. I actually made a video about how to get through artist block on my channel if you would like to check that out. That could help you. And the other video that they suggested for you in the chat. And as I said before, drawing older artwork definitely helps. Oh, thank you so much. I'm just trying to make sure I got to everybody's questions. I answered the question. Okay, cool. I answered the questions. Now let's check out the high noon. The high noon. How do I share my screen? Here we go. So it looks like most recent. Ooh, someone drew a bloody Carl Grams. Yeah, you better cry, Carl. I'm so sorry, but I don't like Carl. I think he's so awful, but this drawing is great, and I especially love the details in the hair, and then the eyeball gore is just freaking awesome. I love the gore in it. McCree's hashtag McCree's bulge. Thank you. Oh, that's an awesome Widowmaker. Great job. You should color her. She's really cool. I wish I could be good at her. Oh my God. Oh my God, you painted that? Is that alla prima? Oh my goodness. That's freaking awesome. Well done, monochromatic. And if that's oil, oh my God, it is oil. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. I don't think this is part of our thing. What is this? I don't think that's part of our thing either. Let's see. Work in progress image of an action pose. Oh, the action pose you were talking about earlier. Yes, this is a great way to figure out action poses and what you're going to do and be like, this, maybe this, maybe that's perfect. That's an excellent idea. Let's see. I should draw 21 Pilots or my favorite song artists. I've actually been wanting to draw Green Day for a while. They were my favorite band in high school. And oh, that's such a sweet character. I love the colors of her hair. That looks so awesome. Because I don't think that's part of our stream. If I'm skipping stuff that should be in our stream, then let me know. It's high noon. This is what I'm drawing on. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love demonic stuff. Here, I'll cover that in case anybody's sad and they don't like looking at ninnies. I am covering this for you. But this is freaking awesome. I love demons and monsters. I like how she is only concerned with covering. She's like, I'll cover this and this, but you can still check this out. But I love that. What is this? Happy New Year's, everyone. It's high noon. I think this is just gonna be, yeah, somebody's just doing it. And then, is this a drawing? No, I think that might be, this is amazing. That's amazing. All right, I think that's the end of whatever anybody was drawing during the stream. We need to come up with a less popular tag for the stream next time, because what is this? Look at that stance. Get out of here. All right, I'm sorry. Your art is amazing, and thank you guys so much for joining me and drawing with me and watching me create and spending your New Year's with me. Thank you so much for the love and support this year. I can't believe I'm at 33,000 subscribers. It's crazy. I don't even know what to do about that. Yeah, Instagram cuts everything into a square. Let's see. The purple and the hands ones are me. Thank you so much for the comments. I plan on painting it in watercolors like gouache. Good luck. I can't wait to see it. Better name next time. Something that doesn't include bulge. You kids, you. I'll think of a, I like letting you guys, coming up with the names. So maybe we'll do that next time. It's high Gweak. Oh my gosh, that would have been so cool. Although it kind of would have also made me seem like I am on the drugs and I am as straight edge as they come. Yay, I love all the good happiness that you guys are spreading in the chat. Thank you guys so much for behaving. And I saw when I was able to look at the chat that you guys were helping each other out or elaborating on questions they may have missed. And you guys are just amazing. I love the community that we're building, how we're helping each other out, how we're having fun, how we're being silly. And it's just, this is absolute pleasure to sit here for 3 hours and do this with you and hang out. And I had an amazing time. I'm so sorry that I don't do streams often, and I'm so sorry that I don't have like better planning other than the day of saying, hey guys, I have time, I'm gonna do a stream tonight. But with where my life is right now, I kind of have to do it that way. So in the meantime, excuse me. In the meantime, I'll try and give you as much heads up as I possibly can and do more streams when I can. I don't get a whole lot of time off, so. I make you so inspired and happy. Thank you. You guys make me so inspired and happy when I feel down and I feel awful and I'm like, this looks like garbage. They're not going to like this video. This is this. You guys always surprise me. And you make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. So when you tell me that I make you feel so good, we're returning the favor. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep building this art community and keep growing and giving each other love and help and support and just have some fun doing what we love. For the subscriber thank you stuff, you could do a giveaway, say like some pencils or some of my art. And actually, I want to get rid of what I have left over from con. You don't send me the pictures, just tag your art piece on Instagram with It's High Noon. And I will see it. And so will everyone else that was in the stream. But as far as giveaway, I was gonna do a giveaway. I think I'm gonna wait until I hit like, I don't know, I'm gonna do mystery bags first because I need to get rid of this con stuff. And I think what I'll do in that is I will secretly put like some of the Inktober originals in there. So you could maybe get a mystery thing as like a gift to you guys. Or maybe like I'll give you guys a code and the people from my subscribers from YouTube will get an extra print or something. I have to figure it out when it's not 10:13 and I've had 5 hours of sleep. But you guys have been amazing. I will do a giveaway of art or print or something at some point. Maybe when I reach my next milestone or in the midst of me making the mystery bags so I can get rid of my old art and bring in with the new stuff. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching me draw and arting with me. You've been absolutely amazing and I love you to death. I hope you guys have an amazing new year. Here's to 2017 and it only getting better. It only getting better. Have a great night, you guys. I love you so much. Bye.